Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. And there's a bit of a new energy in the air. Can you feel it? I don't know if those of you who are really energetically perceptive can sense the shift, but I'm in a little bit of a different recording space and I'm really liking the energy and the vibe here. So I hope that you enjoy it as well. I have my coffee today. I'm just having plain black coffee, nothing too fancy or exciting. I really like telling you guys what I'm drinking during these readings for some reason. I think it just kind of reinforces that bond that we have here in some kind of strange, small way. It makes me feel almost like you and I are just having a chat over a cup of coffee at the table or something. And I really enjoy that kind of comfortable feeling. So if you have anything that you are eating or drinking right now during the reading and you'd like to tell me about it in the comments, I would love to hear from you. Or of course, outside of food or drink related comments, I do just love reading your comments in general. I really believe that the comment section is so integral to this kind of co-creative process here. Of course, not necessary because that process is really happening energetically first. But I feel like the comment section is a beautiful additional facilitator of the sort of supportive space that we're building here. So with that being said, let me not just ramble on here forever at the beginning of this video. I am going to go ahead and start shuffling some of the cards. I am home now from my beach trip that I did last week. It was so refreshing being by the ocean. I envy those of you who live right next to the ocean or the mountains or somewhere really scenic. I definitely have it on my dream board or vision board to be able to at some point maybe relocate somewhere like that. I just love immersing in beautiful environments like that. If you do live somewhere that is really scenic or somewhere where you're surrounded by a lot of nature, let me know in the comments. I just so adore hearing about all of that and hearing where you're coming from on the planet, because we do have so many different people here tuned in from all over the world. And yeah, I think it's just amazing that because of modern technology, we're able to connect like this. I did an Instagram post on this a while ago about how modern technology in the digital age allows souls at times to connect in ways that we never would have been able to physically in the past. Yes, we always would have been connected in the quantum realm, but it would have been a lot more difficult to make those more conscious connections. Our technology almost creates this, what I called in that post, kind of like a liminal space where we are able to activate soul contracts and connect consciously with other souls through different mediums like social media or texting, calling, FaceTiming, all of those things in ways that we never would have been able to do in the past. And it is so profound, in my opinion. Now, of course, technology, just like any tool, does come with its own pitfalls as well. And I know that some of you had pointed that out in comments on that Instagram post. And of course, that's very valid as well. I really believe with every tool, it's about the intention we bring to it and the energy we infuse into it. And that really dictates what we get out of it. But I'm also just getting a general message here about being very intentional with something. How I don't know who this is for. I know I say that a lot. And then some of you say that whenever I say that, you know, I'm going to say something that connects specifically for you. So I try to keep that in mind when I do these channelings and I get a message come through that feels so random, strange, and specific. But I'm really picking up on someone who has come across some kind of, we'll call it a specific tool lately that is very powerful. Now, maybe this is something that you are doing or creating. Maybe it's knowledge that you have access to, or like some kind of educational program or something like that. Or maybe it's a resource or a tool in the form of like a person or a group that you've encountered, or maybe it's a literal tool. I don't know what this is for you, but there's something coming up here about how this really is what you make of it. I'm hearing it's actually just a mirror for your higher consciousness. It's a mirror in some way. The thing I'm getting is that whatever this tool or resource or thing is, the value that you're getting from it isn't actually contained within the tool itself. Kind of like if you are someone who reads tarot, then when you're reading tarot cards, the power, the magic isn't in the physical deck of cards, it's within you. And this is a tool that you're using as kind of a physical mirror to help you reflect more deeply on an internal level and access spiritual layers of knowledge and wisdom and information within yourself. But it's not actually the tool that holds the power, and the tool will be what you make of it. And what I'm getting here is whatever tool you've come across, whatever resource, whatever thing you're doing, it's all about your intention, and what you're getting out of it is a reflection of what you're putting into it and how intentional you're being about it. Now, for some of you, I'm getting whatever this tool is, like for example, it could be social media. We can use social media to connect, to create beautiful things, to share our truth, our authentic self, our voice, to inspire, to uplift. But social media can also be used to distract us from our life purpose, to cause us to kind of derail ourselves, or to fixate or give energy to what other people are doing with their lives, and to feel badly about ourselves because of cross comparing or whatever. These are just a few examples, but of course we all know how social media works and how it can work in both directions. But to label all of social media as being either good or bad would be kind of an overstatement, like a generalization, because it's just a tool, and a very powerful one at that. And this is reminding me of how I did a reading recently on someone who may have deactivated some of their social media accounts. So maybe that is specific for someone. I don't know. But just kind of in this example, I know this is so specific. I don't know who this is for, but take this in like a general sense. I'm going to give you a specific example because it's what's coming to mind. Maybe it is literal for someone, but you can take this and apply it more generally. But for example, if we're talking about social media, let's say that you have an Instagram account and you find that while you're using it, you feel drained. Let's say you're scrolling reels or whatever on Instagram and you're feeling like your energy is drained. You're feeling kind of distracted. You might find yourself like lingering or dwelling on certain people's accounts and feeling that triggering some kind of emotion within you. For some of you, I feel this could be related to romantic soul connections in your past or in your life as well. I know let's just make this even more specific, because I was already saying I don't know who this is for. Now I'm getting even more specific, but I just am literally seeing someone looking at a person's account like on an Instagram or on Facebook or on some social media and feeling heartbroken. And it's like impossible for this person not to feel triggered when they see, maybe it's because this person's in another relationship, or it's someone from your past, or you were rejected in some way. I'm hearing rejected by silence from this person. This also could apply to friendships as well. But I'm just getting that, like, when you go to their page or whatever, there's this feeling of sadness or this feeling of being triggered or unwanted or something. Again, this is so specific, but you get the gist. There's some tool, maybe it's social media, maybe it's something else that is distracting you and bringing up these negative emotions within you at times. Or maybe that's what it did for you in the past and you recognize that. But then there's also a power within this tool that you are beginning to tap into as well. So I'm getting that, for example, let's say it's social media. Maybe you've either created a new account or a business account or like an inspirational kind of account where you are sharing, or maybe even through your main personal account, you've started, I'm hearing, becoming a creator instead of an absorber. And that's the key to whatever this tool is. It's about using it not to absorb, but to infuse your energy into it and create with it, to transmit through it actively instead of just receiving from it, if that makes sense. So there's something in your life where I feel like you have the ability to receive a lot of information from it that can affect you in certain ways, but you also have the ability to transmit a lot of information through it that can help you manifest certain goals or dreams, that can help you share your authentic self or your voice with the world, that can help you inspire, uplift, or educate others, and actually maybe even inspire your own self in the process of doing that. And as I see you like actively transmitting this energy, it's now showing to me as like this wall or this boundary in a positive way. It's like the way you set a boundary with this thing, or the way that you set up a wall where it's not affecting you, but you are actually affecting it, or rather affecting yourself in a positive way through it and transforming lives through it. The way you do that isn't necessarily by negatively pushing back against the thing. It's by pushing out your own intentions into it. It's by becoming a transmitter instead of just a receiver. That's what I'm getting. Like there's some kind of modality or medium or tool that is both a transmitter and a receiver. But the way that you reclaim your power, the way that you use this tool to benefit you rather than to drain you, is to transmit more with it, to create more with it, rather than passively just receiving from it, if that makes sense. So again, I know this could apply in many different ways. It doesn't have to be social media for you specifically, but I hope that connected for whoever that was for. Again, I thought that was very specific, but it wanted to come through. I know sometimes those specific messages are seemingly some of the most important to share when they do come up, even if I don't always know how they connect. That's also part of why I really do appreciate all of the comments that you guys leave under these videos, because when you let me know when something resonates, it does help to reinforce me in the channeling process and to connect the dots in a way. And I do really feel that it helps with future channeling sessions as well. Anyway, so I was pulling up our love word scramble and I got the word scientific. I also heard research. So maybe someone is researching something. The word post, which is interesting because we've been talking about social media. So maybe I heard social media post, but then I heard the word sign. Like, you know how a post can be another word literally for a sign, like a signpost. Okay, so once again, a very specific message coming through for someone, but the message is that, sorry, I almost even hesitate to say this because I know that I'm worried it's going to come across in the way where I'm like feeding into some kind of like delusional energy or something. But I know that if this is for you, you will know that this isn't a delusion. This is like a clear sign. So anyway, I'm just going to say it. But what I'm getting is there's someone posting on social media, and this post, the post that they're making is actually a sign for you. Like it's some kind of spiritual sign. Now, this could be romantic, of course. This could be a romantic person from your past who posted something recently or shared something. Or if you aren't on social media, maybe they gave you a signpost in some other kind of way. But I feel like they signal to you in some way by doing something, sharing something, saying something that I'm hearing it seemed to have one literal meaning or consequence when they shared that. But spiritually, it was a very clear sign. Like, this is someone who this is so hard to find the words to describe, so bear with me here. I know I'm stumbling through it a little bit, but it's almost like this person was sharing something like, oh yes, I'm sharing or posting this because it's meant to have this intended outcome. But you know that they're actually doing that to give you a sign. It's kind of like when, and I feel like they're doing this consciously, by the way. I know this message won't be for everyone, but if this part of the reading is for you, again, doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel like there's someone who it's like they know what they're doing, but only the two of you know. I'm hearing secret language. It's almost like, let's say you have a code word with someone, right? And the agreement is that when they use that code word, it means something to the both of you, but other people would be oblivious to it. And so then you're out in public and this person is talking to other people in front of you and they use that code word, and I see them almost looking at you out of the corner of their eye like, did you get it? And obviously you know the double meaning of that word that no one else would know, that seems to have a totally different, just innocuous meaning in that literal context, but you know the deeper underlying meaning. That's the feeling I'm getting, like someone signaled to you in some way where, yes, it does seem to have a literal meaning, but you understand a spiritual meaning that only the two of you would get, or only the two of you would understand. Again, that won't be for everyone. Only take that if it does resonate for you literally. But I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee here and get into some shuffling. I know we haven't pulled a single card yet. It's just been one of those readings, but even in my last reading, I don't think we pulled a single card in my last reading either. I posted last night, which, by the way, if you are a creative type right now and you haven't heard my last reading, I really recommend checking it out. I had a lot of messages for creatives and those who are really on this path of using their hobbies or passions to inspire others in that last video. So you might find that really beneficial. It should be the most, or I don't know, one of the most recent videos as of when I'm posting this one. So, okay, let me go ahead and start shuffling with the traditional tarot cards. And significantly, I turned over the deck, and at the back of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So I instantly heard the words hidden abundance. And I saw someone sitting, I saw a High Priestess specifically, literally sitting on this gold mine, but the gold mine was hidden under a hill. So it was like buried. And I feel that you are sitting on some kind of gold mine, something of tremendous value. And I'm hearing that's why you have this confidence about you, because you know that what you have is valuable, even if no one can see it yet. That seems to be a message coming through here, first of all. I'm going to channel more into this because with the Ace of Swords, I'm also feeling some kind of major breakthrough coming through here for you. This may be something that you're right on the brink of, because I'm getting you might be sensing that there's some sort of breakthrough happening or coming for you that you can't quite put your finger on yet, that you can't quite explain or describe to other people. The word gift is coming out. The word direct. I also heard something about a director, but with the word direct, I feel like you're going to be receiving some kind of direct gift from the universe of some sort. This may come in the form of, I feel like it's going to be some sort of opportunity or someone communicating something with you directly or offering you some kind of gift or some kind of opportunity very directly. This may be a King of Swords energy. So if you are a divine feminine here, especially, this could be a masculine who I'm hearing is very clear on how they feel about you. And I saw the 7 of Pentacles in my mind's eye, which I haven't pulled it yet. We'll see if it comes out, but that represents making investments, working towards something. And I have to say, I know this is going to get kind of specific. By the way, if you're new, I do often use the terms divine feminine and divine masculine, but these are not connected to particular genders for the context of these readings. So you can take them however they resonate. I also believe we all have a balance internally of both the masculine and feminine energy. So when I use these terms, it could be connecting with your internal masculine or your internal feminine. And I got the word union here right as I was channeling into that as well. The word stream, family, right, pond, lonely, the name bin, French, furniture. Okay, so I know that those are just, for those of you who are new here, I use a tool to channel specific words that connect with certain individuals in specific ways, but I always say to take that however it resonates for you. So what I'm getting is a masculine energy who is very clear about what they want. I am picking up that this person may be neurodivergent, or they may have, there's something with, I'm hearing them, they are unusually clear in how they think, but this actually could be labeled as some kind of, I don't know, like mental diagnosis, or maybe they're just labeled personality wise in certain ways. I feel like this is someone who is very honest, very straightforward, very clear. And because of that, they may actually be misunderstood, because this is someone who's more clear and straightforward than most people. I'm hearing they do not play any games. And I'm not just talking romantically. In general, they don't play games when it comes to their friendships, their social groups, their commitments. There's like a very strong sense of loyalty and purity of intentions from this masculine. And I'm getting as well that, I feel like this is going to be the person, the energy to offer you some kind of gift. Now, for some of you, the gift itself could be union, like desiring some kind of union with you. I'm getting the word military here. Raise flame. Oh, wow. Okay. So someone could be like a twin ray or a twin flame or something of that nature. I'm getting a very strong soul connection here, which is interesting because I don't feel like this masculine is traditionally spiritual in like the sense of exploring soul connections or being into like videos like this or tarot or spirituality. I feel like this is someone who's actually very, very logically oriented, maybe even more like scientific in the ways that they think. And yet they seem to be offering you some kind of huge gift here of some kind. For some of you, this would be the gift of like their openness, their loyalty. I'm getting that something about this gift is healing you. What this person is giving you is healing a part of you that lost some kind of trust in others in the past. Maybe you're someone who has been through situations where you've felt like you gave a lot to another person and were met with disloyalty or unclear intentions. And I feel this masculine is showing you the opposite. And there's a gift in that, regardless of whether this does manifest itself fully into a physical union. Maybe that's something you desire. Maybe it's not. Maybe this isn't a romantic situation at all, but I feel like this person is, I'm hearing, showing you that it can be different. Again, I don't know exactly how this is happening. This does feel a little bit nuanced here. I got the word pine, grass, flower, driver. Okay, so what else can I channel about the masculine coming through here? Two of Pentacles. So this seems to be a masculine energy that balances you out in some kind of way. What I'm getting is that you are very sensitive to how other people affect you in connections and friendships and relationships. This is why you are very selective about who you connect with, who you date, who you allow into your life in a consistent way. And I actually feel that you've found yourself backing away from certain connections that may have offered you a lot of stability, or maybe the ability to feel more socially connected or more supported in like the physical realm. Sorry, I'm getting a card that fell into the floor. I'm getting that you may have turned down some of these opportunities, maybe even lately, because you are so sensitive in a beautiful way to how other people affect you within interpersonal relationships. So when you are in a relationship or even just a friendship, or you're connecting with someone or speaking on a regular basis, you are aware of the energetic interplay happening between you and that person beneath the surface in the invisible realm. And I'm getting that you pay attention to how connections wear on you, and you aren't afraid to walk away or to distance or to go silent if you begin to notice that a connection is affecting your energy in a way that is imbalancing you. This is why it's been very important for you to be selective about who you take into your inner circle, who you allow yourself to open up to and communicate with on a really regular basis. At times, you may have questioned this part of yourself or kind of wondered, is there something wrong with me because I can't just have a lot of like close friendships with people just for the sake of being social and feeling connected? If I feel beneath the surface, there's something about that bond imbalancing me. And I don't think I've ever channeled this specifically in a reading, but what I'm seeing is that when you even become friends with someone or even just begin communicating with someone regularly, you have a way of bonding in energetically where you are actually feeding a lot of energy to people who are connected with you in this way. That is why your presence is so addictive to so many, why it's so highly valued. I've talked before about this safety net of energy, I've called it before, that you provide, where just by being connected to you, often people will begin to feel like they are suddenly experiencing good luck, new opportunities, getting promotions or a raise at work, maybe getting a new job, finding that they feel more confident, that they feel more balanced, happier. This is not a coincidence. The reason people often feel this way after they connect consistently with your energy is because anyone that you pull into your inner circle is brought into this kind of safety net of energy, so to speak, where they naturally experience an uptick in their own vibrational frequency naturally, just as a result of being connected with you. By the way, I'm getting that this masculine that we've been talking about here, they actually acknowledge and realize that consciously. Even if they're a very logical person, they realize that when they're around you, something shifts in their body, in their mind, in their energy in a positive way. And the unique thing about this person is, unlike many people who do have this natural human tendency to take you for granted or to not really recognize the value of being connected to you, this masculine realizes the value that you provide for them. Anyway, that's kind of just a side note, but I am getting that it makes relationships, even friendships, even acquaintances, very complicated for you, because you can look like you're being flaky or you're being evasive when you meet someone and you seem to hit it off initially, but then you find yourself needing to distance or needing to kind of pull back communication. But your tendency to do this is actually a very important self-protective mechanism, whether you've been doing it consciously or unconsciously, because in that time, you are actually gauging, how is this person's energy affecting me? Because you know on some level what you bring to those connections. You know that your presence is exclusive, it's addicting, it provides a lot of benefit to people who are connected to you. And so you're very selective, because when you are in a connection like that with someone who has been avoiding a lot of their own inner work, or who tends to project envy or jealousy, or who is carrying around a lot of heavy energy, even when you are just like good acquaintances and seeing and communicating with them really consistently, yes, those interactions may only be very brief and consistent, but just like not taking up too much of your time. But the thing is, that's only really 1% of how you're interacting with those people's energies, because 99% of your interaction with them is happening when you are totally alone. It's why I feel like this is going to be a big breakthrough for someone, but this is why you find yourself so often thinking about the people that you're connected to. You know how you're the type of person where your mind seems to naturally drift to people that you tend to see or communicate with or interact with on a regular basis? This is you intuitively sensing the energetic bond with these individuals. So it's almost like people you're connected to in this way, they, yes, receive a lot of benefit from being connected to you. Your presence in their life is a blessing, of course, but also it's like they're brought into your energetic space to a degree. It's like they become people who are in rooms in your house in a way, metaphorically, where you are able to kind of pick up on their energy. They become sort of part of your network consciously. And yes, this can be a beautiful thing because having our soul network very solidified can be really uplifting. When we are going through something, we send out an SOS signal to our soul network, and anyone who's connected with us in that way will feel it and can respond to it. Sometimes you are the one receiving that so-called SOS call from someone else in your network, and you can respond to it and reach out and assist them. And it builds a really beautiful soul community, but also it does require a certain amount of time, mental capacity, and energy to be in these kinds of bonds with others. And you tend to form these bonds very easily, which again is why it's such a blessing to be connected to you. But also, if someone is taking that for granted and is truly frequently avoiding facing anything within themselves, you are very likely to be aware of what they are repressing on some level. And then it can start kind of affecting you in ways that may seem subtle, but can actually have an impact over the course of time. So when you pull back your time, your communication, your energy without really knowing why, you just feel like you kind of have to do that. It's often your intuitive self-protective mechanism stepping in to say, okay, let's take a step back here and really evaluate how we are being affected and altered and shifted by the presence of this person or energy in our lives. Now, another thing I'm getting is that you may actually at times be mislabeled by people around you as, again, I said flaky earlier, or as even reactive. Like, why are you reacting so strongly to certain things? It's because you are so spiritually attuned and connected in with the people who are part of your soul network. So you naturally react more strongly to disturbances in this network, to disturbances in your bond with other souls in your network in ways that most people would not necessarily be as reactive to, simply because they aren't quite as spiritually attuned to those who are part of this so-called soul network in the way that you are. So this reading has been so fascinating. I don't think I've ever channeled through some of this information. So thank you to all of you who are here energetically as co-creators and part of this beautiful community we're creating together on YouTube. And if you aren't yet subscribed to our community, I would love to have you as a subscriber here. And if anything here did connect, like I said earlier, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. If you do feel guided to leave a comment, as always, I will be, I said always, I've been doing daily videos, but on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, there are always extended readings on those 3 days. So I am going to take this reading into the extended. I really have no idea what's going to be coming up there yet, but I would like to take a closer look at your energy, your aura, people or things that may be connecting with you at this time that you may be sensing on some level. So if that is resonating for you, if you're feeling guided to continue with me to the extended, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love. Have a beautiful remainder of your day and start to your week. Happy Monday, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's collective reading.